Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome back to this McLaren career on Motorsport Manager. It is the final episode. It is our final ever race with McLaren. We are leaving after this race. We have a front row grid lockout. Max Verstappen pole position, a long way in front of Mick Schumacher. This is on the dry tyre as well. That is how far he is ahead of the rest of the field. Obviously, his biggest challenge, his biggest competitor, rival this season, Sebastian Vettel, got caught out in Q1. Ferrari obviously wanting to try what we've been doing for the last couple of races in starting from the back of the grid. Vettel is starting from 17th. He got caught out by the rain in Q1. Didn't get I don't think he mustn't have put a timing on a dry tyre. He ended up 17th place. But anyway, we've got Max Verstappen, Mick Schumacher on the front row of the grid, Antonio Giovinazzi in the Ferrari third, and then we've got Hulkenberg in the Mercedes. The other Mercedes, where was Kimi? Was he all the way up at the back as well? No, where's Kimi? Kimi 13th, Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton seemed to get caught out by the rain in Q2 as well. So a couple of cars starting pretty far down. Daniel Ricciardo totally caught out in the Williams, 20th place for him. So what we've got, this race is going to be a full wet race. Look at that, we've got full wets up until about lap between 7 and 8 it looks like. So we're hoping to get that far, so we're going to just hang on to the fuel. We might go high mode from the start, but we want to hang on to the fuel for as long as we can, just so we can get to that point where we can get our first pit stop in and done when it's time to go into the intermediates. Hopefully that is going to get us, that is what we're going to get to. Hopefully we can get a decent start here. Obviously Vettel is all the way down here in 17th place. So Verstappen makes a brilliant start. Schumacher a decent start as well, away from Giovinazzi. So Max Verstappen should be able to just run away with this race. We have to look after the tyres a little bit as well, because they can do between 9 and 11 laps for Max. What they can actually do for Schumacher, a little bit... No, it should be Max that can actually do a little bit more than that. Yeah, Max can go a little bit further, so he can blast through his tyres a little bit more than what Mick Schumacher can do. We might have to look after him a little bit, but the wet tyres can get down to 0% before they start losing any sort of big performance, before they see any degradation onto the times that these drivers can set on them. So that is good to know. The lighter hardest compound tyre, and Nico Hulkenberg in the Mercedes has crashed, and we've got a safety car already, so that is going to be good for the fuel and for the tyres. No, we don't want to pit. There's no point pitting. We're just comfortable going to where we need to go, as that was on the second lap that Hulkenberg actually crashed. We just want to... This is going to work really well for our strategy now, in that we're going to be able to look after these tyres until it's time to come in for the intermediates. Although we were going to be able to do that anyway. I don't think the AI would have been able to get to that point without actually coming to the pits. A couple have come into the pits already. Hamilton, Gasly, have they had crashes, or have they hit each other? Yeah, they must have hit each other, Hamilton and Gasly, at some point. One of those has possibly got a drive-through penalty. Coming past the car of Hulkenberg here, he's crashed out on that really tight apex there. So we got one lap behind the safety car. We finally caught the safety car up here. We might try and get some tyre temperature back into these tyres before the safety car goes in, but we'll just skip ahead until that point and we'll take things from there. Right, so we're back. The safety car's just pulling away now. We've gone up to overtake mode already. Heat, really not getting into these tyres. It's only 6 degrees, and that is why. So maybe we can run in overtake mode for a little bit here. Right, we need to get the fuel back up as well. Possibly go high mode now. Should be good enough, and use the boost as well to pull away. Mick challenging, and look, that's one of the Renaults. That is Carlos Sainz, but Max Verstappen comes back, and Giovinazzi meanwhile has managed to get past. Schumacher gets past Carlos Sainz. Schumacher being held up here a little bit by the Renault. We're going to use the boost to get past him, so we need to try and get him back towards the car of Giovinazzi now. Can we get him past? We've got a little bit of boost, but I'm guessing Giovinazzi has his boost. He's got even more boost, but he's pushing his fuel, is Giovinazzi. He might need to come in a little bit early. We don't want to do that. We just want to just sort of hang on to this fuel. We want to try and go these 4 laps. Or at least 5 if we can get to it. No, we can't quite get 5. Maybe if we go medium, we can get the 5 out of him. So we'll go back to medium. Max is far enough away now. He can just sort of leave him to it. We just need to concentrate on getting Schumacher past Giovinazzi here. So Giovinazzi a long way down in front. He's got about a 1.5 seconds lead at the moment. I'm guessing Giovinazzi's going to start turning his things down pretty soon. Still trying to get temperature into these tyres, these wets. Not getting any sort of heat into them at all. So everyone's still just pushing their tyres. Schumacher is 1.6 behind at the moment. We're still waiting for Giovinazzi to turn things down, or is he? If he doesn't turn things down, he's going to pit early, and then we can just sort of push from there. 15 laps remaining. Rain stopping or starting to slow down in 2 laps. Yeah, so we're at the point where we want to be. Going to be able to do another 2 laps after this lap, which is what we want. Although Schumacher is a little bit close to Verstappen, so maybe we should try and get Verstappen a little bit further in front, just so we don't have to double stack. We do have the boost on for Verstappen, since we didn't have any of the dry tyre compounds to go with the boost, because we knew it was going to be raining for the entire race. He does have tyre guru, so his tyre changes do take half the time. Schumacher meanwhile has the one for refueling, so his refueling only takes half the time of what it usually does. So we're set up today for quicker pit stops. 3 seconds behind Giovinazzi now. Giovinazzi, our tyres sort of running down, so should we get Schumacher in for the inters this lap? The rain has stopped. We are actually falling a little bit too far behind here. Max goes past, so Max goes past. Are we dropping behind too much here? Giovinazzi's still pushing the same as we are. His tyres are a little bit fresher than ours. The rain's stopping pretty rapidly. No, we'll get Schumacher into the pits on this lap for the inters. I'm sure they'll work from this point forward. Should we try fast? Let's risk a fast one. Hopefully we don't have a mistake. Giovinazzi's peeled into the pits as well this lap. If we have a fast one, we should be out in front. And yes, we are. We're out in front thanks to being able to... What's Giovinazzi doing? He's going all out with pushing at the moment. We're going to have to respond to that. Thanks to the refueling boost that we've got. And he's using his boost as well. Forgot to use our boost out of the pits. Try to think of the boost that we've been using. There, Mick Schumacher flies back in front. Has Giovinazzi used all his boost? No, he's got a little bit more. Is he still pushing? Yes, he is. And, Verstappen, we've let him go around again. No. Right, we're just going to have to turn down just so he doesn't get a puncture. We'll push. Right. Is he going to run out? He's run out of fuel as well. Oh, bugger. Oh, my God. Have we just messed this up for Max Verstappen? Too busy concentrating on the battle. He could. He's going to be way behind, isn't he? Because he's got to pit. Oh well. Let's just call this another challenge. Let's just call it another challenge. Max has now got to fight back from this position. He's just crawling round. Absolute cock up. 5th. That's Vettel up into 3rd, isn't it? Vettel doing amazing. Right, so we can just push all out with Max from this point forward. He's just managed to get to the pits as well without having a puncture as well. Thankfully, Mick is flying away in front here. So we can just keep an overtake with these tyres as well. He gets back out into 11th place, does Max Verstappen. And he had a mistake with a pit stop as well. Just to rub salt into the wound of Max Verstappen. Schumacher, though, running away with it now. Sort of handed Schumacher the win in this final race here. Obviously, he's only won 2 races this season. We're feeling a little bit sorry for Mick in that he hasn't had the same amount of wins as Max Verstappen. Let's see what Max can do from here then. See what he can do. He's a long way behind, 37 seconds behind the leader. Well, at least it adds a little bit of excitement to the race, considering we would have been just running away in 1st and 2nd for the second half of this race. Schumacher we need to keep an eye on just so we know when to get him into the pits. Giovinazzi's running it in low mode, so we should be able to pull away from him now. Schumacher's pulling away brilliantly. At the front of the field, we can just sort of keep pushing. With Max from this point forward, we're getting stuck at the moment though behind Valtteri Bottas in the Sauber. Just use a boost to get past him to release him. We've now got 3 seconds to Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz though running really slow. Should we use it? No, not use a boost yet. We'll save it. Sainz used his boost, but we're still going faster than him even though he's using his boost. And there we go, up into 8th now for Max Verstappen. Just keep an eye on Mick Schumacher. Should be able to go another lap from here. No, we might as well get Mick in, just so we know that he's running nicely to the end of the race. We won't risk a fast one, just because we made a mistake with Max's on the last one. So Max is up into 8th now. He's got 2.5 seconds to go to Daniel Ricciardo, lapping a lot quicker than him as well. Lapping a lot quicker than these other cars, just because we're able to push the tyres the way we are. So we're just going to keep hold of the boost for the time being. Actually, let's use a little bit of it. Try and get past Ricciardo before he peels into the pits. So up into 5th at the moment, although we do still have another pit stop to go with Max Verstappen. Should we keep him out another lap here? Try and keep him out for these 2 laps. Yep, try and keep him out an extra 2 laps here. Who have we got in front at the moment? Stoffel Van Dorn, who's already done his 2nd pit stop, so we know we can't get up into 5th during this race. Schumacher is leading by an almost 10-second gap now. Verstappen is in 6th, although we know I have to pit. We've got another lap to go here, and we'll fuel up right up to the top, so we can just push everything totally. Although, what is it? 1.3. We'll have 4 laps to do. So that will be 8. So 4 laps, 2.6, 5.2. Should be at a running overtake mode from that, because that should round up to 6, but we'll do that just in case. Right, so we're setting up Max now for his final pit stop. He's using a little bit of a boost, being held up a little bit at the moment by Stoffel Van Dorn. Obviously Van Dorn has pitted, so we're going to come back out behind him. Hopefully we have a decent pit stop this time. Overtake mode. Mistake on the tyres this time. Out into 7th place. So where can we get Max Verstappen up to here? We've got, who's that? That's Daniel Ricciardo using his boost. We had to use ours to cover him off. We've got Lance Stroll in front, 7 seconds behind. We're absolutely tearing through now. Catching him at an alarming rate. Only 2 laps to go now, 3 laps to go for Max Verstappen. Mick is... Giovinazzi's catching him here. Or Vettel's catching him. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him before the end of the race now. He's sort of started to steady off now. So we're closing in on Stroll pretty rapidly. What is this lap going to be for Max Verstappen? We do a 1:11, which is a lot quicker than anyone else currently out on track. Use a little bit of a boost to try and get him a little bit close to Stroll, a little bit quicker. 1.5 seconds behind now. Schumacher still 6 seconds in front of Vettel, so it looks like he's going to win. Final lap. A lap and a half to go for Verstappen. Let's use the boost to get past Stroll, because we need to try and get back on the back of Van Dorn as soon as we can. I don't think we're going to be... And Stroll's got his boost to come back at us with. Yeah, so it looks like Verstappen's going to finish 7th here. It's going to be a little bit too much of an assay. There goes Mick Schumacher for his 3rd win of the season. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get past Stroll. Can we catch him on the line? Yes, we can. We catch him on the line, did we? Yes. No, 7th. He came back on the line. 7th for Verstappen. So we messed it up with Verstappen a little bit there. Concentrated a little bit too much on trying to get Mick Schumacher past Giovinazzi. We just sort of let Verstappen run out of fuel and almost run out of tyres. Almost get his tyres down to the rim. Yeah, but anyway, it gives Schumacher his 3rd win of the season. It didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. As I said, we'll call it a sort of challenge. We sort of meant to do that. See what we could do from the halfway point of the race in going behind. We managed to pick up a few places. He went down into 11th. Managed to get himself up into 7th. I don't know how far he was behind at the end of the race. Doesn't actually say on here, does it? No. But a 1:09.4 quickest lap. No, Kimi Raikkonen must have pushed at some point during the race all out. A 1:08.8. Absolutely amazing from Kimi Raikkonen. So scrutineering, checking the cars. Who was it? Haas actually got demoted last time out, didn't they? Red Bull caught cheating for the first time this season. So, oh, these are drive-through penalties. They both got drive-through penalties. No, because Lewis Hamilton collided with Gasly, didn't he? That's why they pitted really early. Yeah, so Mick picks up the full 25 points. The just 6th for Max Verstappen. Giovinazzi 3rd. Vettel 2nd. So a 335 point total for Max Verstappen. Absolutely an amazing haul of points. Mick Schumacher not too far behind really on 261 points. Then Vettel on 203. Rounding out the top 3. The bottom 2. It's not actually a Haas at the bottom. It's actually Jolyon Palmer and Felipe Nasr in the Sauber, the only 2 drivers not to pick up points this season. But Haas going down with 3 points. Toro Rosso managed to pick up 15. Renault above Sauber. Force India in 6th. Mercedes finishing 5th this season. Williams and Red Bull above them. Ferrari in 2nd. So amazing result for Mick Schumacher. Not so much for Max Verstappen. Look at that, he's up to a 5-star rated driver now, pretty much, is Max Verstappen. So by next season, he could be the best driver in the game at some point. Obviously, we're not going to be able to control him for that. And 50 million in the bank. So there we go, confirmed. Max Verstappen, the 2018, although this is really the 2019 season. The game is a year behind us from what we actually started with the 2017 mod. But 11 race wins, 14 podiums out of 16 races. Obviously that would have been 15 if we didn't mess up, and he's only got 14 as well because he crashed in 1 race. So he would have had 15 and 1 did not finish. 11 race wins out of the 16. And there we go, McLaren world champions once again, 2nd season in a row. Oh, look at that, so close to 600 points as well. That's a mess up as well from Max Verstappen, just missed out on 600 points. That is the end of our McLaren career. So that is the end of our McLaren career. We just might as well do the interview. Congratulations on securing the Formula 1 title. What was the secret? We'll just say the entire team. Keeps Zach Brown happy. Max Verstappen's a championship. He does have a markability boost, which doesn't really matter because he's almost 100. He was 100% anyway, pretty much. Morale +10/+10 to the mechanics and so on. Contracts running down. So Paddy Lowe is running down at the end of this year. Should we just try? He's not actually interested. We've let him run down too far, haven't we? So McLaren, Harrison is actually interested. Not important. Long contract. Not important. We'll try keep her with the team next season. So Paddy Lowe is going to be without a team next season. Although we won't be able to sign him with Haas because he wouldn't be willing to drop down to GP2. So what we're going to do now is, where can we actually get to? We have to go to the actual team page, don't we? Haas. Apply for job. Job available. Send application. Job application received. Yep, we've got that. We can't recruit them. Car repair complete. Right, so let's just see if we can get this Haas job. And we're not actually going to... This isn't on manager role, right? So we're going to accept. So there we go. We've joined Chariot. In other words, Haas. We've joined. So let's just have a quick look. So greetings from Marcus Ericsson, Santino Ferrucci. Greets is welcome to the design facility. Report on Haas Formula Racing drivers. Marcus Ericsson Ferrucci. And targets. I'll just accept that because we don't have actually any races left this season. So let's just go ahead and let's see if we are getting relegated. That is the most important thing to know. So, right, so new Haas Formula. Yes, that's us changing team. Leaves. Confirmed retirement. Right, so prize money for Haas. How much we're getting? 32 million into the bank. Manager of the season, Arriva Bernie of Ferrari. Driver of the season, Mick Schumacher at McLaren. So when is the championship promotion? That's what we need to know. The top team from GP2 series have decided to reject the offer of promotion into Formula 1. This means that despite coming in last in F1, I can tell you that we are not being relegated. So we are actually staying in Formula 1 next season. We're not dropping down to GP2. So the refueling ban next season has been lifted. Not lifted, but brought back so that we don't have the 40 kilogram fuel tanks in F1 next season. But we do have shorter qualifying sessions, which will stop just about the double runs that the AI sometimes likes to do in qualifying sessions. So MP Motorsport decided not to come up for some reason. So let's just have a quick look. Ferrucci, we're going to have to replace Ferrucci, definitely. 3.5 is definitely not good enough. Ericsson, he is good enough. He's bringing in a lot of money, is Marcus Ericsson, as a paid driver. So we just need to find one guy, don't we? Have we still got most of these scouted just because we were with McLaren, or is it because... What's the HQ like? We're building a simulator and a wind tunnel and a factory. Building a factory as well. It's just still got the work going on for what we were doing in the McLaren. Because we're not actually building them, we're just actually working on the factory at Haas at the moment, which is pretty good, which is one of the things that I was wanting to concentrate on, because otherwise Haas only had a level 1 factory, and that would have been abysmal for early season reliability next season. So thankfully we've got that going on. Do they have some decent sponsors at the moment? Let's just see what their state of finance is. Only £700,000 per race. Sponsors, right. So we need a nice marketable driver in here. So who's coming to the end of their contract? We might even be able to get Paddy Lowe back in. See if he can do the same. Although it would cost a lot of money. We're only paying 60,000 at the moment for Agathangalu. I wonder if he would be willing to sign with us. No, he's not actually willing to sign with us. I wonder if he's retiring or something. I don't know. Strange. Anyway, let's have a quick look at who we can get driver-wise. James Allison is actually out of contract as well. Although it's not quite the same. Pretty decent though. He's left Mercedes. Right, so who's out of contract? Fernando Alonso. Ooh, we could get Fernando back, although it would be a pain. It would be a pain to see him in another car that isn't up to scratch. But he would be willing to sign for us, so we've got Fernando that would be willing to sign with us. So this was the end of the 2018 series. So who's out of contract? Lewis is out of contract at Red Bull. Not interested. Possibly re-signing. So we need marketable drivers. So someone like Carlos Sainz, who we don't actually have scouted, do we? I don't think he is. Or Sergio Perez. Just have a quick look. Where is he? Come on. Perez would be interested as well. So it's between Fernando and Sergio Perez in who we want to lead our Haas revolution in the early going. Fernando is possibly going to start dropping off as a driver next season, so he might not be the best fit because his stats are going to start degrading. So maybe we'll go for Sergio Perez, but we'll leave that until we go into next season. You can leave a comment down below of who you think we should have in the car. We're keeping Marcus Ericsson because he is a pay driver. We do need the money to develop this car, to develop the HQ to the point we want, so we can start making a challenge later on, maybe a season or two. It's going to take quite a while with this Haas team because we're not there at all anywhere. We're just not there, totally away from everything. What are we like for engines? We've had 2 engines banned this season of Haas. So 1067, so it's not too terrible. A lot of these, we're not too terrible. We're not that far behind. But obviously we do have the worst car, and we do have to improve on the 3 points that they got this season. So hopefully we're going to be able to make that happen next season. But anyway, that is it for this season. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We dominated with McLaren. We've got a tough season coming up next season with Haas. Hopefully we can score some points next season. That is going to be the big challenge. But anyway, until then, I will see everyone down the road for Season 4 with Haas. Next season, we'll be back, hopefully tomorrow. But until that time, I'll see you later, and goodbye.